Hello, my friends. Jacob is here. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for press and play. I'm glad that you're here joining me in space. As you see, there are some asteroids behind me. I thought it was fitting. I thought it was fitting considering what we're going to be talking about on today's show. It's a concerning one. So I woke up this morning, and of course, as I'm doing my research, I didn't want to come on here and bum you all out and get you all freaked out, because I don't think that you should be freaked out. But remember, they've been doing this simulation, the asteroid simulation. There have been some scary asteroids that they're talking about, right? The one that, if you watch Paul Begley, you've probably seen it a billion times, because he's always talking about it. Apophith.
That's an asteroid.
It's got a destruction, got a chaos. They say that it's a minuscule chance that it's going to hit us, right? It's very close. It's passing something within a couple of thousand miles or something of where we are right now, and that's concerning. Well, we've noticed that NASA, the European Space Agency, SpaceX, we've noticed that all of them are doing a great job of sending things to the moon, setting up bases on the moon, setting up on the dark side of the moon. You have China, Israel sending up the civilization backup plan. You put all of this stuff together. If you watch the shows that I do on space, if you just watch them, you put them all together, and you could be concerned. You start to think to yourself, well, maybe the reason everybody's getting together to simulate trying to stop an asteroid that's on course with the Earth, that maybe there's a reason for it, right? I don't know. What do you think? I think so. They're talking like in 8 years' time, there's a possibility for this happening. So they all got together, all the big wigs and all the head honchos, they all got together, and you know what they did? They tried to pretend they used computer algorithms, probably artificially intelligent algorithms, simulations, based on math, which, works, it holds up. And they've done this a couple of times. They did this back in 2013, I believe, and they did it before. So if there's something coming, I'm sure that they're probably well aware of it, and they've probably kept it from all of our eyes and ears for a long time. That's why NASA was very well known for saying that Planet X, Planet 9, Nibiru, that it didn't exist, that it was all a bunch of baloney, a bunch of malarkey. Remember, that was just 2 years ago when channels like myself and others, when I said very clearly, when it gets closer, they're going to have to tell you that it's there. So at some point, they're going to have to say, oh, we found it, and it's on an elliptical course. Now, the reason why this would be threatening is because it carries a lot of junk with it. So we've noticed an increase in asteroid strikes. We've noticed meteors. We've noticed an increase in that, okay, fireballs. So, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that perhaps, we should do something about it. And that's why I believe that they all kind of got together and they all did this simulation. Now, this is where it gets it's kind of a bummer. Okay, so they run all these computer simulations. They believe that this asteroid, whichever one they used, they believe that this asteroid, this one, they're playing it as if it's coming towards us. So they have to act. What are they going to do? Are they going to hit it with a missile? Are they going to try to drag it with a net? What are they going to do? How are they going to do this?
And I found this strange. The European Space Agency releasing this little mini movie about preparing for an asteroid collision simulation in 2028. They played it out where this gigantic asteroid was heading their way. And because of all their telescopes and everything else, they knew the trajectory and they knew that it was going to hit the Earth. But luckily, it ends up in the sea. So they play this out and then they go into their little commercial talking about how they're there to protect us from space weather and from collisions of asteroids. And it's a whole campaign, time for decisions. I just think this is all so incredibly strange, don't you?
So because it was heading right for Denver, Colorado, the simulation said, right? And guess what happened? It was just diverted and it crushed New York. Yeah, flattened it. Flattened my hometown. Isn't that awesome? That's right. Flattened it. Ruined it. Just, so they failed at their simulation for stopping this thing. A lot of people are saying that, gotta worry about this, gotta worry about that. But the truth is that if they ran this simulation, right, and say that the asteroid was gonna hit New York, you see, this whole thing is, how do you evacuate all of those people? How do you get that done? Even if you're like 3 months out, how do you get that done? And then the question becomes, like, what about the people that aren't going to trust that the government really, that there's anything coming at all? And that you're just going to round people up, right? Because resources are low, blah, blah, blah. I don't even like talking about this stuff. Because you start to talk about it, it just sounds so, spooky. And this is why really what this show is about is to get you out of the fear. I know. Jacob, how are you going to get out of the fear? What are you saying? That they ran the simulation and all their best efforts, they failed. Well, because see, here's the thing, right? There's something that's bigger. There's something that's in control. There's something that is at the root of very much everything, that is dictating everything. And you get in line with that, you're okay. What are you going to do? You're going to be scared. You're going to think that, in 8 years, that's it. The asteroid's going to hit. What are we going to do, right? Well, first of all, get your house in order. Start living your life. Start knowing that your life means something. So I'm not that stressed about all this stuff. I mean, look, if I were to tell you that I think that nothing's going to happen, I'd be lying to you, because I think that there's a possibility. I think that something's going to come. I think that it's going to be pretty devastating, but I'm not worried about myself. I'm not worried about my family, regardless of what happens, because ultimately this is all like a big movie. This is our life, right? It's all this is a temporal world. Even people that say that they have faith in all of these religions, and we see that the religion system is crumbling around us. We can't really even trust it, right? I do the video that I just did on the Antichrist, and explaining what it is, right? And of course, demonetized. I talk about how that the channel's being hit, and I put a post up where I showed that, look, all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, all my subscribers are down. What's going on? And then after I post that, and after it gets a little bit of traction, guess what happens? All of a sudden, subscribers are back up again. There's something going on here, right? But there's something that's in charge of that. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason. So I operate in faith. I don't worry about what is to come. I don't worry that the simulation went wrong. Because in the grand scheme of things, who knows what the future holds? Not me, just God. Jesus said that too. He says, I can't tell you what's coming. I know that we're in the end days, right? But not the end of the world. The end of the way the world used to be. And whether that comes with asteroid strikes, or whether that comes with an awakening so great that from shore to shore, sea to sea, everybody knows the truth and everybody's loving each other. Whether that happens too and the lights go on. I don't know. But I am excited. I am excited because if there's a possibility that an asteroid could be coming, right? If there's a possibility that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? Scriptures talk about how everybody's going to be, all the rich and the elite. They're all going to be running to their shelters, into the bunkers, into the mountains, and they're going to pray that let the mountains fall upon them so that they don't have to bear the wrath of that day, right? Where like a third of all life is wiped out. Okay. Scary stuff, right? Not if you're living for more. Not if you understand that this is but a moment. But we are an eternal people. We are a royal priesthood set aside to do good things in the world. The scriptures say, if you be God's, meaning if you're seeking the truth no matter what the cost, and you're following after true life, which is love. I don't know. It's Sunday. I felt like I had to talk about something a little bit deeper, because when I talk about these things, sometimes I feel like I bum people out. I don't want to bum anybody out. But the simulation failed. So there you have it, right? I love each and every one of you. Have the best day ever. If you're down in the dumps, do yourself a favor and go cheer somebody up. You don't know how much time you have, but I do know if it's spent wisely, you never regret it. You never regret it at all. Bye-bye. I love all of you.
Thanks for watching Jacob Israel. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this channel around. If these shows have helped you, help Jacob to reach more any way you can, and have the best day ever.